When I first moved to Los Angeles 17 years ago, I wasn't thinking about no women. I actually wasn't thinking about anybody. When I got off that plane from North Carolina in November of 2000, all I was thinking about were my California dreams and making them come true. Well, after a while, you realize you're human. And being from the South, you realize that if you're not married by the age of 25, you're late to the party. But if I thought dating back home was hard, LA was a whole nother story. My last bad date was with this guy. Let's just call him Larry. I called to see what Larry was up to. He told me I could come over, but he had to leave early in the morning, and that was fine with me because I had spent the night over his house many times by then. I had come over. He had a 2-story townhouse. We were intimate in his living room on the first floor. I'm feeling a little spontaneous. I'm feeling a little free. Well, joke's on me. About 10 minutes later, he said in a yawn that he was going to go upstairs and go to bed, and I could show myself out. In that moment, I had gone from empowered sexual female to feeling like a cheap call girl. I can't remember the last time I had felt that hurt. When I got to the car, I cried like a schoolgirl. And I don't know about you all, but I know when I'm emotionally worked up and in my feelings and feeling vulnerable and low, I somehow start talking to God. And in this prayer and plea and cry out, I end up saying, a woman would never do this to me. Now, I don't know where those words came from, because they had never left my mouth, but they were so genuine. As women, we have a code. We have a pact. We have lines we just don't cross. Right, ladies? Well, prayer works. Because the very next week, a female asked me out on a date. Now, out of frustration, curiosity, and mandate from God, remember, I went. We had a great time. She was fun. She was kind. She had a good job. And she knew exactly how to treat me. And one date led to another, and she ended up being my girlfriend. Now, it only lasted about 1.5 years, and not because anything went wrong. Oh, no. It ended because if this was the road I was going to take, I just can't stop at the first experience. That's like marrying your high school sweetheart. If there are 50 flavors of ice cream and I've only chosen one, how do I know it's my favorite? So I'm now in the ice cream parlor taste testing. I got me a little rocky road up in North Hollywood. I got a scoop of cookies and cream in Mar Vista and a little bit of mocha almond fudge off La Brea. Now, the thing that all these ice cream flavors had in common is they all had a little bit of chocolate in them. In other words, all the women were black. But remember, I'm from the South, so that's part of the social norm, right? Well, a few years later, this lesbian black LA scene got to be a little small and incestuous. I went to a house party, and I felt like I knew you, and I knew you, and I don't know you, but I know who you hooked up with last week. The only person that is a fresh face is that white girl in the corner. If that white girl in the corner asks me out on a date, I'm going to go. Lo and behold, she asked me out. I guess it's now time to try a little vanilla in the OC, huh? Well, she was a butch, blonde-haired, blue-eyed cop who liked cigars, guns, hot rods, and drove a lifted pickup truck. I just knew we didn't have anything in common. Did she know who Marvin Gaye was? Had she even heard of Earth, Wind, and Fire? Well, not only did she have a more extensive music collection than I did, she knew the ratchet shit, too. Being with her challenged so many stereotypes. We had powerful, sometimes uncomfortable conversations, but so much learning took place between the two of us while still enjoying the ride. But the rest isn't quite history. In the midst of getting to know the white girl, I had met this younger version of Jada Pinkett. Well, now, looking back, I am giving this girl way too much credit. But just for the sake of the story, know she was feminine and she was brown. All the things my white girl was not. I mean, when I'm with the butch white girl, you know we're a couple, and you know she's white. But with the brown feminine chick, wait, is she my roommate? Is she my friend? Is she more than a friend? I mean, she could be somebody I could take back to North Carolina, and if we chose to reveal our secret, you'd be like, damn, I know Janora was gay, but I am not mad. Well, with all these things on the surface, the white girl faded to the background, and Jada and I took center stage. Well, that show was over in the first act. I mean, the curtain went down in less than 90 days because all she offered was that, just surface. She was never accountable for her actions. Following through with her word was next to impossible. I mean, she was almost as bad as Larry. All of these things my white girl had done with her eyes closed and her hands tied behind her back. Well, now it's Valentine's Day, and I'm solo. But out of the blue, the white girl calls to see if I have any plans. Of course I don't. I was just hoodwinked by Jada Pinkett wannabe. I said yes to the date, but with the understanding that I wasn't in a space for anything more than just hanging out. I mean, the ice cream shop needed to be closed for renovation. Well, on one particular day, hanging out, about a month later, I was driving my brother's hand-me-down BMW. Now, that sounds exciting, but it actually always started smoking when you put it in park. And at this time, I was living in the hood, which meant somebody's windows were always open and somebody else was always walking down the street. So we parked the car in front of my house, and about 5 minutes after we got inside, you hear, "Oh, snap! That car is on fire!" I knew it was my car. I was petrified and hysterical at the same time, if that's even possible. And my white girl jumps out the house, grabs the neighbor's hose, puts out the fire, deals with the fireman, comes back inside where I still am, because remember, I'm too petrified and hysterical to leave. And then she proceeds to tell me that she's taking off work later that night because I clearly needed someone, and she didn't want me to be alone. In that one crazy moment, she showed the strength and heroism as well as the tenderness that stole my heart and made it official. In that act, whatever uncomfortableness that presented itself as being outwardly gay or interracial dissolved into the shadows of the weak and frightened thinking from which it came. And this woman represented the foundation of any solid relationship, not the surface sexy stuff, but the stuff that long-term is built on: honesty, character, kindness. I had a choice in that instant to stay small or grow and confront whatever hesitation or baggage I had surrounding being both gay and dating someone outside of my race. I'm just lucky I had a second chance. The white girl is now my wife. Her name is Layla. Now, the rest is history.